began to understand more how connection is so important. Because I think when I started out, I was really selfish. I was like, I love performing. It makes me feel good. I enjoy it. But then when I started to realize other people's joy in my performance, that kind of like transaction that we were
Yeah.
having of energy is just like, it becomes more and more important as time goes on to me.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Now, was there a moment that you can remember that you sat and you're like, I need to write this book? Like, I need to connect with everyone. What was that moment?
There were two times, two big ones. One was 2019. I was on stage with the Spice Girls. We did a stadium tour in the UK. And it was the first time I think all of us looked out and we looked at the audience and we really took it in.
Mm.
It really started to sink in what we'd achieved and how we'd had this impact on a generation of people and new
Mm.
generations that were discovering the Spice Girls. And it was like, wow, we did this. I think to see like stadiums going crazy for our music, like 25 years later, that was
I
like
mean,
wild,
I have
right?
I have
goosebumps.
chills.
I was like, oh my gosh. And that like really inspired my album I released in 2020. And it was all about, realizing you're all of these things all of the time. Like, I am Sporty Spice. I am a solo artist. I am a mom. I don't do different things on different days. I'm all of these people all of the time. And that was
Hmm.
like, that just really, so many things fell into place for me. And then, of course, we had the pandemic in 2020 and just having that bit of time to reflect and just think about my life. I thought, you know what? It's an incredible story. And
Hmm.
yeah, I started to want to tell it. And then I met a great publisher and he was like, look, it's your book. It can be whatever you want it to be. And I was like, yeah, I want to achieve a lot with this book.
Hmm.
And that was kind of what got the wheels in motion.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, you guys truly are like the female Rolling Stones. Like
Right? Well,
no one's
well, if
ever
you even
touched.
think about it, like Halloween's coming up, right?
Mhm.
Like I know
There's going to
like
be a
a
ton
quarter of
of,
America will be dressed up as Spice Girls. It's a every year thing when you're out trick or treating. You always see a Spice Girl. Someone's dressed up as a Spice Girl, which I mean, how is that? How does that feel? Like that the way all of you look,
Mhm.
like you guys connected to
Mhm.
someone different in your group, which was so amazing. But every year it's like you can look out and if you dress up as Sporty Spice, people will go, oh, that's cool. You're Sporty Spice. Like that
Yeah.
has to be incredible,
It's
incredible feeling.
it's so funny. Can you imagine like going online and looking at Halloween costumes and there's one which is you?
I know. I mean, that's
With the
nuts.
pony and like a six pack and all this stuff is
Yeah.
so funny. But I love it. It works for me on Halloween because I go out with Sporty Spice and no one suspects a thing.
oh
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I
I
didn't
didn't
even
think it's
think.
like freedom. Halloween's
Yeah.
freedom for you. Oh my God, that's so
That
amazing.
is, if your daughter was like, Mom, I want to be in a girl band, like I want to follow in your footsteps, would you be hesitant or would you lead her almost in a way or how would you feel?
Well, you know what? My mum is always so cool. She was like, whatever you want to do, I will support you. And my mum is a singer too. So she knew it was hard. But, she was like, you have to follow your dreams and your passion because we share our passion for music. When my daughter started to tell me that, she'd never want to be a singer, she never wants to be a performer, I have to be honest, I was really relieved. And I think
Yeah.
I think because, if it was her passion, then great, and I would fully support her. But I think being the child of somebody who's been successful in that field, I think it can be really hard to like come out from that shadow, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
want that for her. She's amazing and she's really creative. She's really visually creative. She's a great artist. And I just think she's going to pave her own way. And I think that's a much better way to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
really is. Now, how has it
Um,
been to balance motherhood, and being, just in having a big career? Has it been hard?
Oh my goodness, it's so hard. I think obviously parenthood, that is the hardest. It's the toughest job on the planet, right? And then, add into the mix
No.
working and then traveling with your work. And I'm a single mom as well. So yeah, it's tough and lots of support from family members and, people helping me out, friends helping me out. Yeah, I think there's a lot of guilt attached to being a parent. I
mhm.
Yeah.
find it hard being away from her, but yeah, she is amazing. She's incredible. And yeah, she's very supportive. I talked about this trip and like coming home a day early. And she's like, Mom, you're nuts. You got a day off, in LA. Just
Oh
like,
my
just hang
gosh.
out and have a good time. And I'm like, no, I want to get home to you. She's like, I wouldn't.
Yeah. That's actually really
Oh,
cute.
It's
And that must
so
be a
cute.
great feeling for a mom because I can imagine. I mean, even this morning, I was telling Nicole, I was like almost in tears driving my kids to school because I was really tired this morning when I woke up, didn't sleep great. So I felt like there was a couple moments I took it out on them. They weren't moving at my pace. Then I felt guilty, then awful. And then in the car, when you're driving, you actually get to sit down and like count to 100. And then, I'm just like, kids, sorry, mommy just was really tired this morning. But we realize our kids are really resilient. Like they get it. They're like,
Yeah.
right. And I think for me, being in the entertainment industry, and I don't know if you felt this way, because I heard Artem say this about me the other day. He's like, yeah, she's a very overcautious mom. And I was like, overcautious. Like, I'm very protective, and I think that's okay. Like, or, we're on TV. But were you like that growing up? Because I just carry worry around all the time with him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, totally. And I mean, they're the things, aren't they? Like from being a parent, it's the guilt, the worry. Yeah, they never
Mhm.
stop. And just that love, no matter how crazy your kids make you, you just never stop loving them, do you? Sometimes
oh
you're
gosh,
like,
no.
"Urgh."
I know. I
But
know.
and then they just do something super cute and you're like, oh, just the best thing.
Right.
Right.
Melts
Oh,
your
it's
heart. And then you
so
want to share it
true.
with everyone. And I always feel bad because I'm like, I'll text it to like so many people. I'm like, oh, they probably don't even give a shit. They're like, oh, okay, cool. But I just
Yeah.
find it to be so amazing. I'm like, oh my
No. But
gosh.
you could always text it to me.
Yeah.
Do you actually remember any mom hacks you had with toddlers?
Oh, I was quite lucky with Scarlett actually. We didn't get terrible twos, but I used to do this thing. I used to call it the death grip. So if she ever actually had a tantrum, and she'd always do it in public, and when
Oh
you're
my
in the
God.
public eye and then your kid has
Oh
a
yeah.
meltdown in front of loads of people, you're
Oh,
so
it's
self-conscious,
awful.
aren't you? But I used to put one arm like just up in between her legs, the other one like over her shoulder, and just like carry her home. Um,
Oh my gosh.
and she'd be kicking and screaming. And I just used to think, I don't know what people are thinking of me right now, but I've got to get this kid and get them out of the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so. And Brie, we should be able to do that quite easy.
Oh
I think
yes.
I
Yeah,
actually
I
did
think
a
that might
lock
be a
on.
move, right?
That might be a move. I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds like what I used to do to girls in the ring.
But that's good because it calms them. But yeah, our boys right now. So our boys are 22 hours apart, but they're in those terrible twos and they're giving us quite a run for our money.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And my
it's
daughter, right, she would never, because do you guys do naughty step? Or like
no,
naughty
it's naughty
corner?
step.
So this is something they use a lot
Oh,
in the UK for like if your child's like behaving badly, you have to go and sit
uh-huh.
on the naughty step, right? And you have to go and sit there for a
Oh,
minute.
Oh
My
my
daughter
gosh.
would not have it. She's so headstrong. I would like plonk her on the naughty step and she'd just come running after me. She'd be like dragging on my leg, like I'd be pulling her across the
Oh
floor.
my God.
And, these children that actually like stand in the corner and think about their actions. I'm like,
yeah,
that's not my girl. But you know what? I'm glad because like
right.
Right.
she's got girl power,
Yeah,
she
She
ain't
does.
doing nothing
does.
she don't want to do.